Would you believe it if I told you that those child stars who once captivated the entire world, the innocent, radiant faces that once dominated the screen, have now changed to the point of being almost unrecognizable? The glitz of Hollywood isn't always magical. Sometimes it turns into a frightening shadow, wearing people down through troubles, unhealthy habits, and the harsh marks that time inevitably leaves behind. From the icons of the 80s and 90s to the Disney kids tied to your childhood, their transformations will surely leave you stunned. In today's video, let's explore the most shocking transformations of former child stars who have changed over time to the point where hardly anyone can recognize them. In the 1990s, no one was more beloved than Macaulay Culkin. As Kevin McAllister in Home Alone, he didn't just star in a Christmas classic, he became part of American tradition. With witty lines, slapstick humor, and unmistakable charm, Culkin became an overnight child superstar. Films like My Girl, Richie Rich, and The Page Master kept him at Hollywood's center, while his friendship with Michael Jackson kept the media intensely focused on him. It seemed Culkin would smoothly transition into an adult acting career. But things didn't go as expected. By his late teens, Culkin was exhausted by fame, caught in family conflicts, and overwhelmed by relentless media scrutiny. In the early 2000s, when he reappeared, Culkin shocked the public with a frail, pale appearance, far from the adorable boy people remembered. Tabloids spread rumors about unhealthy lifestyle struggles. In 2004, a well-publicized incident involving cannabis and prescription medication further cemented the image of a fallen child star. For nearly a decade, Culkin stepped away from major projects, choosing to live life on his own terms. In recent years, he has gradually returned through small roles, music, and a more independent, unconventional lifestyle. With long hair and a signature beard, Culkin now looks nothing like the Kevin McAllister of the 90s. Though he may never regain his childhood stardom, many fans hope his new path brings stability instead of turmoil. Most people remember Taylor Momsen as Jenny Humphrey from Gossip Girl, but her career began much earlier. In 2000, at just 7 years old, she charmed audiences as Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas alongside Jim Carrey. With her angelic face, bright eyes, and innocence, she became an unforgettable part of the Christmas classic, seemingly destined for a bright Hollywood future. That path shifted completely when she joined Gossip Girl in 2007. As Jenny Humphrey grew darker and more rebellious on screen, Momsen in real life began pursuing a bolder, more rebellious style of her own. The contrast between her pure childhood image and her daring real-life persona shocked many fans. Rumors of tension between her and the cast and crew fueled speculation that she no longer fit the show. By 2011, she left the show entirely. But Momsen didn't leave in defeat. She was reinventing herself. At that point, she devoted herself fully to her punk rock band, The Pretty Reckless, taking on the role of lead vocalist with explosive, unapologetic energy. The cute curly hair and family-friendly roles were gone. In their place emerged a full-fledged rocker, clad in leather, heavy eyeliner, and fierce stage presence. For those who remember the Cindy Lou Who of the past, this transformation is almost impossible to believe. Today, Taylor Momsen barely resembles the child star she once was. Her rebellious image and powerful music career show just how dramatically a former child star can transform over time. Whether praised for being authentic or criticized for abandoning her old image, she has remained true to herself. A reminder that not every child star fades away. some explode into an entirely new version of themselves. You can't talk about child stars who have declined without mentioning Britney Spears. Once praised as the irreplaceable princess of pop, she dominated the late 90s with her sensational debut, Baby One More Time. With glowing skin, an irresistible smile, and a fresh girl next door charm, Britney quickly became a global icon, representing the beauty standard of an entire generation. Young people copied her style, and the media celebrated her as the perfect face of pop music. But fame came with an incredibly heavy price. By the mid-2000s, non-stop spotlight, an exhausting schedule, a turbulent divorce, and the battle for custody began to fracture her once perfect public image. In 2007, the moment she shaved her head became a global symbol of crisis, a desperate act of rebellion exploited endlessly by tabloids. Cameras followed her every step, turning private pain into a public spectacle. That endless chaos left unmistakable marks. Years of pressure, scrutiny, and constant tension were etched deeply onto Britney's appearance. Fans who remembered a flawless Britney were stunned to see her later appearances. Dry hair, smudged makeup, and tired expressions replaced the radiance she once had. Though her talent remains undeniable, Britney's transformation shows how brutal fame can be, especially for those who grew up under Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight. In the early 2000s, Frankie Muniz was one of the most famous child stars on television. In Malcolm in the Middle, he perfectly portrayed a gifted yet empathetic teen. With bright blue eyes, quick humor, and natural acting talent, he became a household name, earned a Golden Globe nomination, and secured a special place in TV history. For years, he was the face of a generation that loved sitcoms, but that breakthrough role was a double-edged sword. Malcolm was so iconic that Muniz struggled to escape typecasting, limiting his opportunities in Hollywood. Instead of fighting it, he stepped away from acting and boldly reinvented himself. Over time, Muniz explored new fields: professional race car driving, playing drums for a band, and even running an olive oil business. More concerning, however, were his health issues. Muniz experienced multiple concussions and several mini-strokes, leading to severe memory loss. Even more shocking, he once admitted he barely remembers filming the very show that launched him to fame. Fans who loved the brilliant young boy were deeply saddened to learn how those events shaped Muniz's life. Today, Frankie Muniz looks and lives very differently from the gifted American kid people once admired. But he remains optimistic, proving that resilience matters more than fame. His journey reminds us that child stars can change in unexpected ways, yet still find purpose beyond the spotlight. For those who grew up in the 1980s, Corey Feldman was a name that appeared everywhere. He starred in the iconic films of that era: Stand By Me, The Goonies, and The Lost Boys. With his mischievous charm and natural presence on camera, Feldman quickly became a teen idol. Together with his best friend Corey Haim, they became the Two Coreys, a duo that dominated young Hollywood and appeared on countless magazine covers. For a time, Feldman's career seemed like it would last forever, but Hollywood's spotlight can be brutally unforgiving. By the late 1990s, Feldman's star faded, weighed down by unhealthy habits, legal troubles, and the challenges of transitioning into adult roles. The youthful face of his early years became older, more tired, completely opposite from the vibrant teen idol he once was. Public struggles with addiction and his shocking statements about the darker side of the entertainment industry put his name in the news for all the wrong reasons. Even so, Feldman refused to disappear. No longer the handsome poster idol, He reinvented himself as an activist, speaking out against abuse in Hollywood and honoring the memory of his friend Corey Haim. His work sparked mixed reactions, but it represented a different kind of strength, one forged by survival rather than fame. Today, Corey Feldman is vastly different from the teen who once ruled the 1980s box office. His story is a reminder that fame can age child stars in harsh ways, but sometimes resilience can shine through the scars. In the early 1990s, Edward Furlong skyrocketed to fame when he played John Connor in Terminator 2: Judgment Day, 1991. Almost overnight, he became the face of an entire generation. Furlong's natural talent, street-smart charm, and rebellious energy won over audiences around the world. Unlike many other young actors, Edward didn't just play the character, he lived in it. He was immediately hailed as one of Hollywood's brightest young stars. After T2, Furlong proved his versatility with films like American History X and Detroit Rock City. Critics praised his emotional depth, and fans believed he would remain an A-list star for decades. But fame, money, and constant pressure can break anyone, especially a child who never had a normal childhood. By the 2000s, Furlong's career began to decline. Substance issues and ongoing legal trouble made headlines more than his movies did. The youthful appearance he once had faded under the weight of stress, harmful habits, and an unhealthy lifestyle. Candid photos revealed someone almost unrecognizable compared to the teen who once saved humanity on screen. A career that should have soared instead spiraled downward, his talent overshadowed by personal demons. Recently, Furlong has been working to rebuild his life, though he has not yet returned to leading roles. He appears in smaller projects and has been rediscovering his love for acting. Fans who once idolized him continue to hope he fully recovers. Furlong's story serves as both a warning about Hollywood's dark side and a reminder that people can rise again after the most devastating setbacks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the latest videos.